All right, guys, here goes nothing. We are here at home again. I told the players that we need to end this run of poor form, but it actually hasn't been really poor form lately. At least I would say that the last match that we had wasn't too bad. We're up against Tonbridge today, and we'll see what we can do. We're down in 21st. We have 13 points out of 15 matches, which isn't too bad. Nobody thinks that we're going to have any sort of chance today, but we've made a couple of changes here to the tactic and the way that things are working, and I think we'll probably end up being okay. So let's see what we can do here. Sinclair here now with the ball. Knox is forward, looking for Seong, and that's just a little bit too far forward. We've had that problem time and time again. And it's going to get better, I'll tell you that. Poodle throws it in looking for Chu, ends up with Sarpong down there, and he takes a shot, and that ends up going wide, so that didn't work. But so it is. Poodle throws again to Boyce over to Edwards. We've been dominating possession, and we've been attacking, which is a difference from what it was before. Poodle wins this, looking for Sarpong, can't find him. And we're in danger of being attacked with the counter, but we go back and win it. Cunningham with it over to John, who was a person we just brought up, and unfortunately we give up the ball, and Gavin makes the shot from range and scores it. John had it here, I think his first touch of the game. He decides to pass it backwards, and that doesn't work. And that was a crazy shot by Gavin. That's not a shot that I think we have any hope of saving. So now we're down 1-0 real early on. Poodle passes back to Edwards, now to Sinclair. Over for Seong, back to Sinclair, and then Edwards. Danielowitz gets this again. And I guess you do have to sort of blame John there for that poor backwards pass. But I mean, that was an unusual shot to give up a goal to. So, I mean, you kind of have to tip your hat to the guy for being able to score from that far out. And this is not going to bode very well, unfortunately, for our morale, which is one of those things we really have to worry about. Still 1-0, and they are starting to get the upper hand here with the attacks. Cunningham, another good save. And let's see if we can actually get the ball off of them. It's going to be Loft up here in the front. And that is deflected, and Danielowitz ends up coming down with it after it pops in the air for a little while. So, all right, let's see what we can do. We want to get some sort of attack going on that's looking forward for Boyce. And we told, of course, the keeper not to kick the ball out like that, and he doesn't listen to us, and that's one of the problems we've had. And there's Gavin with another shot on goal. Fortunately, he was offside that time, so it's all right. Yeah, Harvey John having a pretty poor match here, his first time out, after that really, really poor backwards pass. And so, yeah, it's just more headache for us. Here's Bod Howie forward looking for Boyce. Can't find him. Sarpong now to Sinclair, who lumps this forward. I think he was looking for Boyce. I'm not quite sure about the decision making there. And as I've been reading, I think that the biggest problem that we have are players who just are not good at making proper decisions with the ball. They think that they are under more pressure than they really are. Seong now with this in a real good space. And back to Poodle. Poodle tries to cross it, ends up by going out for a corner. So we'll try this again. Here comes Poodle. Is going to take this one. Looks like it's near post. No, far post looking for Seong. Can't find him. And, well, didn't quite work. They have a free kick now, and it turns into another shot from Swift. And there was apparently a foul that the referee blew off, so it doesn't really matter. And our throw leads to another counterattack. So we're running into issues, and we're trying to get the guys back. Edwards does a good job getting back for that. We're just being outrun by this team. That's the problem that I'm seeing. And Danielowitz does a good job to make that save, but that was pretty bad. Loft here with the corner. And Edwards heads it back to him, so we do save that sort of, but they end up with another shot on goal. And this is not what we were expecting to see, so we'll get out of this and start shouting a little bit at these players. We should be able to play a little bit better than this. I mean, this looks pretty bad, and we're letting them sort of walk all over us, and I'm kind of confused as to why, because when we've had attacking movements, it's looked good. And Gavin is offside again. So that much works. Danielowitz here lumps it forward again. I don't know why, because he's got three men standing right in front of him who we told him to pass it to, and he decides not to do it. It's bizarre. And if he keeps doing this, we're going to take him out and we're going to put in the guy from Myanmar instead because, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to see him time and time again ignore what the instructions are. And the problem, of course, is in the game, you can't do anything about it. You can't talk with him and say, hey, you need to do what I tell you. Instead, he just does whatever he does. Ridiculous. Boyce wins this, and we lose it in the air. And Danielowitz is in the right place there to grab that cross before it becomes a problem. So we're only down 1-0. We're doing all right. Loft here with another free kick, and we have given up yet another corner. We're doing okay in terms of the scoreline, but we're not doing okay in terms of getting possession and getting the ball and doing much with it. This is ridiculous. We've been under a lot of defensive pressure the whole match. And we shouldn't be under this much pressure against a team like this. They're not that much better than us. There's another corner for Tonbridge, and let's see what we can do. Loft will take this, lumps it forward, and Danielowitz there with yet another save, and that really should have been a goal. You'll see this here. And, I mean, Swift, I think it was, had a header that was just absolutely wide open. This is looking really bad. This is looking really bad, and it may be personnel issues is what I'm guessing, and there's number 2, and the frustration is starting to mount. I'm starting to feel angry about this. You always come to this point in these saves, especially if you have teams that are underperforming, where you just are starting to get really frustrated, and you at least in my case, I start to get actually angry. Gavin was probably offside. It would have been nice to have a call, but I guess we don't get calls like that. And now we're down 2-0. And so for people who've asked me like why I find players, the reason why I find players is because of matches like this, where, we're not doing what we're supposed to do and we're kind of lollygagging about. I'm not just ready to find players. I'm ready to just kick players off the team. And we can do that at this level. Right. But I mean, this is ridiculous. And we have some players who just haven't been performing. And I'm really, really starting to get frustrated the way that things are going. Another corner for them. We've had attacking movement. We've had opportunities and we haven't done anything with it. And then we just give up the ball like there's nothing to it. Edwards is trying to give them a penalty. And I'm starting to wonder if we have players who have bets on the other team. Danielowitz does pick this up in the end, but yeah, this is looking pretty pathetic. Poodle throws over to Seong, back to Poodle, who crosses here and is out for a corner. See, we've been getting the ball in good position. We've had attacks, but, I mean, nothing's come of it. And I'm starting to wonder what else it is that we can do. Sinclair has a header that goes off the crossbar. That should have gone in. Poodle with another corner. And this is going to go again, far post. Doesn't quite work, but Howie will go back and grab it. And that's knocked out for a throw. So that's probably going to be the end of our attacking movement. This is bad. This has been bad for us. Sinclair can't quite get onto that. Poodle does go back and grab it. And it's deflected out for another corner. I've been trying my hardest in this save to remain positive with all player interactions, hoping that we can get morale up. But, I mean, this is bad, and these are just players who are having tons and tons of chances. Here we have another one, and they're just not putting it away. They're just not doing it. And I don't think that it's a lack of talent that does it, because I've seen these guys score. I've seen them play better than those. I'm not sure what the issue is, but I think that we're going to end up getting rid of certain players and just starting over as best as we can. Sinclair passes it back to Cunningham. He's doing nothing with it. But Howie's offside. They're not going to call it, though. Seong with a great shot, and it's unfortunate that one doesn't go in. So as you can see, I mean, we are getting our chances, but we're just not putting them away. And we've given up possession really cheaply once again, because instead of short passes, which is what we've instructed them to do, we're kicking it long for no reason. You got guys right in front of you who are open, and you don't find them. Sarpong here with this, over to Edwards, and he lumps it forward again for Boyce. And Boyce has been fouled in the penalty area. Maybe this will be what we need to turn this around. But let's see what happens. Let's see what VAR says about that. I'm pretty sure he was fouled. Yep, penalty awarded. And it's going to be, who's going to take this? I can't remember who we have taking our penalties. I think it's Poodle. Yep, Poodle's going to take it. And that is saved, and then he grabs the rebound and scores. So that's good. That makes it 2-1. At least we scored, although it would have been nice if he'd scored it the first time around. He did a good job not giving up on that. And so 2-1 is something that we can take away as a positive. That's much better than what we were seeing before. So 2-1 it is here at halftime. And yeah, we're going to have to probably dig into this roster and continue to make changes because a lot of what we're seeing here is pathetic. There it is at halftime. So let's see what we can do and see if we can get these players riled up. Show me something else. And a lot of poor matches from guys. I mean, Cunningham should be good. Chu should be good. We're going to have to talk with some of these guys and try to get them motivated. Yeah, get it together. Same thing with Liam Sinclair, who's a better player than this. And we're going to take this guy out. Yeah, Harley John probably is not ready to play at this level. We've had to bring him on because we had a player sort of stolen away from us. And I think, yeah, I think we'll do Keegan Horan, who has actually scored in the past. And that's probably going to be about it for now. So let's see what we can do from here. 2-1 is the deficit. We can always come back. We do have the ability to come back. I just don't know if the guys know it or not. Danielowitz ends up grabbing this one. Let's see if he throws it short. He does this time. Over to Chu, now to Sinclair, to Sarpong, up to Horan. This looks better. To Boyce. Boyce forward for Badhawi. So yeah, a little tactical change turns into stuff like that. That wasn't a great cross. But you know, we weren't seeing a lot of that in earlier matches. We're seeing it now. But Howie now forward to Horan again, and he's in attacking position, and it is just deflected, and it's grabbed by Henley, their keeper. So we had two good clear-cut chances in a row. And the second one looked great, but Horan probably should have passed there. I don't know if Boyce would have been able to knock it through or not. But that looks a lot better than what we were seeing at the very beginning of this match. Liam Sinclair needs to come off. He's exhausted. Danielowitz grabs this, and we'll take Sinclair off right away. So who we're going to put in? Probably Mac Masters. Masters, I think, has it in him to help us out. So they have another free kick from range. As long as we don't have more of this where they get multiple set pieces one after another and we remain under constant pressure, that's the thing that's frustrating. Boyce sticks with it, does a good job, has a lot of space. Over to Masters. Masters back to Sarpong, who moves it up, and that is just off the crossbar. Again, we've had two hit the crossbar so far today. So that should have been a goal. And we want to see a little bit more of that. Edwards knocks us forward for Boyce, so I think they're going to flag for offside. Yeah, they will. But still, we're looking a lot more positive, and we look like we're trying to get momentum and we're trying to get something done. About how he throws to Sarpong. Sarpong back to Cunningham. Cunningham forward for Seal and can't find him. Masters now to Haran to Sarpong, and he takes a shot from range. That's a little bit too high, but that's a lot better. That's more of what we wanted to see. Chu wins this and then gives it away straight away. This is popped up looking for Gavin, and he gets to it despite the fact that there were two men around him and that we had all day to wait for that to come down. Haran here with this over to Cunningham. Cunningham down to Pudil, and it's a poor pass, and we've given up another counter. But we're back in good position to get in front of that. Pudil now to Masters. Sarpong over to Boyce. Boyce forward for Haran, and this is something. Haran is behind the defense and shoots and misses and then shoots again and has it deflected. But Howie, though, wins it. And so the attack, in theory, will continue. We'll see what happens, I guess, after this replay. Haran did a good job rounding the keeper. Shot it at him once. It was saved. And then tried again, and that was saved. The problem is we don't have anybody up there with him. If we had somebody with him, it would be nice. Edwards now to Pudil, and he's got that taken away, and looks like Taylor hurt himself trying to make that tackle. So that'll force a change from them. Pudil here with this free kick to Cunningham, and the header's too high. And but we're getting more attacking movement. It's looking more like the way that we want to play. Danielowitz knocks this one long, again, despite the fact that we told him specifically not to do that. And it'll be down with Pudil now. Pudil knocks us up to Edwards. I don't understand why Danielowitz is doing that. We've changed him to a defensive sweeper-keeper role, so he's not supposed to be doing that. Everything is telling him not to, and he wants to do it anyway. This is 4 for Haran, who's once again behind the defense, and he scores this time, and that does it. We are tied at 2, so that brings us level. We've overcome the 2-goal deficit and all of my anger and frustration, and I guess this is the reason why you try to keep yourself from tilting too much. Haran does a great job getting behind the defense, and he just uses that speed, and he does what he's supposed to do. Same thing he tried to do last time, and this time he gets the keeper to move first, and then he just scores right behind him. Easy as pie, and it's 2-2. And let's keep going. Let's try to get a win. We want to win. We haven't won in the league for a little while, and people are getting a little bit antsy. Boyce trying to get that one headed on forward. Doesn't quite work. Badhowy throws over to Boyce. Back to Badhowy. This is lumped up, and Seong doesn't have the heading ability to win that with 2 men around him. He's sandwiched. Chu, however, wins it in the back over to Masters. This is looking better. Forward for Seong. I think he's onside, and there's a shot, and that forces a good save. That'll be a corner for Hallam. All right, let's try it again. Poodle here taking this corner. Knocks this far post again. Knocked away. Badhowy will win this. Goes back to Sarpong. Sarpong just lumps that one forward. That's an interesting decision. Again, is something that I don't think that he had to do. But how he throws this over to Seong, we have a lot of poor decision-making among these players. Edwards to Masters. Masters to Edwards. I can't remember what you have to do to get their decision-making better. And there's Boyce, and he's so close to scoring there. That forced a real good save. That was an excellent decision there by Poodle. That was great. I do want to see this again because that was something that came really out of nothing. Poodle here, and Boyce just goes straight forward, and he's onside and gets that monster header that Henley somehow saw and was able to save, and I wasn't expecting that. And Masters just misses scoring, and we have really been pushing it in terms of momentum. As you can see there with that chart, we didn't have much momentum at the beginning of the match, and it was a reason for anger, but we're looking great now. This should have been a goal. That should have been a goal, and it was another good save by their keeper, who looks like Superman. Here's Badhowy throwing this over to Seong, and he gets rid of it in a hurry. Cunningham over to Poodle, looking a little bit better. Edwards now lumps this forward again for Boyce. He just can't get there in time. Haran over to Boyce, who scores, but he's offside. They're going to take this one back. He was offside that time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they've disallowed it. He was offside. It looked like he lined up offside, and he was trying to come back on. You can see it right here. Yeah, he lines up offside, and then he sort of forgets what the rules are. And, of course, that's the reason why he scored. I mean, it's not like, oh, well, it didn't really matter so much or whatever. If he hadn't done that, he wouldn't have been open. We've given up a corner, and so the pressure is back on our defense. And, I mean, this is looking like a different team now that we've had the tactical change. It would just be helpful if we had players who would play well instead of playing horribly the first time we call on them. Seong goes back and gets this wayward pass and then lumps it forward again for Boyce. Boyce has a man. He sees him, Haran, and that's a poor shot, unfortunately. Wow, it's amazing. All of a sudden, we can see stuff like that, right? I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders, and he sees this, and he threads it perfectly, and Haran's shot is just not where it's supposed to be. But we need more of that. One of these days, we're going to be able to straighten that out, and then we're really going to be a power to deal with. Sarpong goes back to 2, up to nobody. That's another cohesion issue. It's going to be 1 in the back, though, and Masters has it here now to Edwards. Edwards up to 2, back to Sarpong, and this is going to be 1 in the back by Cunningham. Good job. And he just lumps it forward to nobody. So I think he was more interested in clearing it than in trying to set something up, which is not like him. He hasn't been playing like that in the past, so I don't know what's going on with this particular match. We've given up another corner. We only have about 15 minutes here left in this match if we want to win, and we want to win. We always want to win. So let's see what we can do. And fortunately, that one is knocked away. They do get it back, though, and have a header that, fortunately for us, goes up and over the top. So, I mean, it's looking all right. We probably should be making some changes here because I'm wondering if Cunningham isn't sort of lumping that ball forward because he's tired. So Danielowitz has it, and it's time to make our decision here. Joshua Chu's having a poor match. We'll put Salt back out there, and Seong is not playing well. We're going to put Aaron Wilson out there, so we'll see what happens there. And hopefully we can make these changes quickly. We do roll it out to Edwards, now to Masters, who's looking for Boyce, and it's not much of a pass, but Sarpong wins it, and we go back to Danielle Witz again. Edwards now, a little bit of a stalemate there in midfield. Sarpong to Boyce. Boyce forward to Haran. Haran, he was offside, I suppose. And it's kind of unfortunate. We do have our reinforcements coming on, men who are fresh. And Haran is not going to win that. That's out for a throw. I had my hopes up, and probably should not have had hopes up. Daniela Witz wins this here in the end, and the rain is pouring, and we've done actually pretty well in the rain recently, so maybe the rain will work in our favor. Wilson forward for Boyce, and he passes to Haran, and there's a shot, and just can't get in. That's the problem. It's been a brick wall there in front of goal. Boyce here again looking for Wilson. Wilson's not in a great position. Edwards knocks it backwards, doesn't do anything. Sarpong now back to Cunningham. Cunningham lumps this forward and can't quite find Boyce. This is lumped all the way back. But Hawi will bring it down to Sarpong now to Haran. Looking for Masters. Got him. And Masters tries to lob the keeper, and that was a pretty embarrassing attempt at lobbing the keeper. So let's try to win this here again in midfield. We don't, but Boyce is there in the right place at the right time. Over to Poodle, now to Edwards. Edwards to Masters, down to Poodle, up to Wilson. Wilson forward for Boyce. And the question is he onside or not? That is knocked away. That'll be out for a throw. So we continue to pile the pressure on them. Badhawi throws over to Boyce, back to Badhawi. It'll be back to Cunningham, over to Sarpong. Sarpong to Haran. And Haran... Boyce was offside. I'm not sure where he even was. So interesting call, completely away from the play. Remains 2-2, and Masters saves the day, getting that header out of there. This is knocked up and out for a corner. And yeah, I mean, we don't want to give up a goal, anything that we do. And Daniela Witz is there, but Sonny Miles gets over onto it, and that's got to be the winner, and we've lost another match. And that's a really frustrating goal to give up. And I really have to look at the defense and ask how in the world he was that open. So we do a good job getting the save. Cunningham, though, is in the wrong place at the wrong time. And, I mean, Cunningham's just had a really bad match. And, I mean, we're really going to have a talk with him. We need to play better than this. That's ridiculous to give up a goal like that after we played so well. And we need to do something else. That was bad as well. That's a bad pass. Cunningham comes off. We may not play him for a little while. We're going to I know that Stan Swain has played poorly for us, but we're going to put him back on anyway. Cunningham has me very frustrated, and I'm seriously considering fining him for that because it's his fault that we're behind 3-2. He should have been in front of that. Knocked forward for Boyce, and he can't get there. He does, though, in the end, and it's a poor first touch, unfortunately. Does well to win it. And that's the end of the match. I guess that was at the very end of it. So we have a 3.89 XG. We lose 3-2. We're going to have a talk with this team. This is me very angry. Talk to you later. Bye.